Hey guys, it's Adam, 1/3 of the Hormonal Werewolves, coming at you again with another rankings video. And you might be asking yourself, what is a Rocky video doing on a horror review channel? And that's a good question. Let me try to explain. While I'm an avid horror fan, and horror is my favorite genre, I'm first and foremost a fan of cinema. And that encompasses the entire spectrum of everything film has to offer. You see, I was born in 1979, which means that I grew up during that Goldilocks zone of the early 80s when the greatest children's cinema of all time was being produced. Movies really monopolized my childhood, and I was passionate about several franchises. The Universal monsters, Godzilla, and Star Wars reigned supreme on my first tier of childhood obsessions. Cracking the second tier, though, were Rocky, Indiana Jones, Karate Kid, and Back to the Future. From an early age, I was obsessed with the Rocky saga, as by the time I started watching them, there were already 4 in the can. My friend's dad had all 4 of them on Betamax. You remember those? And I would ostracize myself from everyone else and go upstairs in his study and watch them repeatedly. I've seen every movie in this series countless times. It's heartwarming to me that there are still Rocky movies being churned out today in the form of the Creed spin-offs, and unlike other franchises from our childhood that continue to make movies that fail to capture the feel or spirit of the movies we loved when we were kids, Star Wars, Indy, I'm looking at you. The Creed movies are peak cinematic entertainment that routinely please even the most hardened of Rocky fans. I truly don't believe there is such a thing as a bad Rocky movie. As the saying goes, just like with sex and pizza, even when it's bad, it's still pretty damn good. So if you see a movie that you love is a little lower on this list than you expected, just know I still love that movie, and I'd watch it again right now in a heartbeat. There are just movies in the franchise that I like a little more. So with all that out of the way, let's get started with the definitive ranking of the Rocky and Creed movies. And at least until Creed 4 is released. At number 9, we have Rocky 2. Okay, wait, stop. Don't go anywhere. Come on, don't click off the video. Give me a chance to explain. I already said that I love every movie in this franchise, right? Exactly. So settle down. Before I get to what brought me to my conclusion that it should be last on my list, let me tell you what I love about it. I love how it's a perfect continuation from the first film. Like, you could watch 1 and 2 back to back, and it would be like one long, seamless 4-hour movie. Carl Weathers is great in this, probably his best performance in the franchise, as we get to see for the first time the locked and loaded, no-nonsense version of Apollo. He's not playing games this time. Burt Young is a lot of fun to watch in this. He somehow lost like 50 pounds between this movie and the original, and it's never brought up by any of the characters. Doesn't really make a lot of sense. It also doesn't make a lot of sense why Gazzo suddenly decided to hire him, but he looks great, and you can tell that Paulie is really taking this small-time mafia stuff pretty seriously. Burt plays Paulie cool and confident in this movie. It's quite the departure from the out-of-control alcoholic we saw in the first film.
And I don't raise you to go with this scumbag. Yeah, come on. You want to hit on me? Come on. I'll break both your arms so they don't work for you.
Adrian's triumphant win line is the movie's highlight, and it still elicits goosebumps to this day.
There's one thing I want you to do for me. Win.
What are we waiting for?
Now for the things that don't exactly work as well. Alright, for starters, this movie feels like a complete rehash of the original film. I mean, when you think about it, it is the first Rocky movie, just with Rocky winning this time. And let's talk about that plot point for just a second. So, in the original Rocky, Rocky comes to the conclusion that he can't beat Creed. He's not in the same ballpark as he is as a fighter, and he comes to this realization during a heartfelt bedtime conversation with Adrian.
It really don't matter if I lose this fight. Nobody's ever gone the distance with Creed. All I want to do is go the distance. I weren't just another bum from the neighborhood.
Rocky states that even if he can't beat him, if he can just go the distance, something no one else has ever done, then he knows he won't be just another bum from the neighborhood. Of course, he goes the distance, and even though he doesn't officially win the fight, he still wins. He proved it to himself, he proved it to his loved ones and to the neighborhood, supposedly, that he had what it took to go toe-to-toe with the best. An important lesson that is gleaned from the first film is that victories come in different forms. Sometimes it isn't all about winning and losing. Sometimes it's about stretching yourself as far as you can go and proving that you can hang in there when others say that you can't. It's an important lesson, and one that is clear as day in the original film. Well, in this movie, those themes are totally thrown out of the window. It turns out that the only thing that matters is winning. Rocky wanted to go the distance and prove he wasn't just another bum from the neighborhood, but after the fight, that is exactly the perception of him, as other fighters constantly belittle and even spit at him.
Now you can take it. Whoop. Can't you think of anything tougher to say than oops?
And I have to say it, this is the most depressing Rocky movie in the franchise. And that's really saying something when other installments include Rocky mourning Mickey, Apollo, and Adrian. Nobody dies in this movie, yet it's still the most depressing film in the franchise because of the downward spiral Rocky takes in it as he tries to move on from boxing and become a quote-unquote regular person. There are scenes that are reminiscent of depression porn, as Rocky attempts to hold down jobs and fail.
I gotta let you go.
He incredulously gets mocked by his peers, even though they should be looking at him like a living legend. And he's humiliated for his inability to memorize his lines for a commercial.
My name is Rocky Balboa, but not cause...
Christ, cut. No, just keep it rolling.
And finally, he has to watch the love of his life go into a coma while she is pregnant with their child. Like, holy shit, give me a Xanax. Still, great movie. I don't think the final fight is as good as the one in the original, but it's still solid. And of course, the Adrian, I did it.
Yo, Adrian! I did it!
It's a tear-jerking classic.